This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning. Can anybody please unmute and respond to my questions? Anyone can respond. Only single person. Okay, today my topic is metabolic response to injury. I just want to know what are the basic concepts you know, because the metabolic response to injury. Shall I start the class? Can anyone please respond? Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Please, anyone just respond to my questions. They are very basic questions. So, because metabolic response to injury, it deals with the whole and systemic, every system it is related. The basic, why we are treating the patient, how is the treatment of the patient, how is the response it affects. It's the first chapter in the Bayesian law. Okay, your basic knowledge, your basic concepts on healing or response or surgery, every chapter it will touch. Okay, so it is the first first chapter in the Bayesian also, and very important because during treatment, after treatment, and after discharging the patient, how he is responding, everything is related to metabolic response to injury, how the surgery evolved from very open surgery, very invasive surgeries to minimally invasive surgery to robotic surgery. The basic concept of metabolic response to injury only, to reduce this response to injury only, all these open or invasive surgeries are evolved into minimal invasive surgeries or robotic surgeries or any invasive, minimally invasive and daycare procedures. Everything is related to this metabolic response to injury. So what is injury? See, uh, if you had a small needle prick, do you take rest at your home? Just respond, because yeah, I need whether you are listening or whether you are understanding the concept. I just want to know that feedback. Any one person, rule number 51. If you are not answering, I'll just keep you absent. Any one person, just if you have a needle prick or anything or a small scratch on your arm or forearm anywhere in the body, do you take rest? No, you won't take rest. When similarly, when you have a trauma or when you have a fracture or when you have a big abscess, you will just take leave of absence. Why? Why you won't take leave of absence or any injury like small scratch, and why you take rest when you have a fracture? That is response to injury. Because if you have small injury, the response to injury is less. What is the response to the injury? Metabolic response means how the body is dealing with the injury. Okay. Uh, See, injury or any trauma or any infection or any inflammation, the end goal of how our body reacts is to heal. Okay, to heal it or to bring back it to the normal response, normal state. Okay, that is the response to the injury, how our body deals. How means by metabolic activity and physiological responses and immunological responses. All these three come into act or come, say for example, అంటే నా బాడీలో ఎక్కడైనా ఎనీ బాడీ ఎనీ ఇంజరీ అయింది అంటే రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద బాడీ will take pity or coming to help or savaging that organ. So if I have a cut on my arm, hand, my right hand, my limb and my everything will అంటే ఎలా ఫీల్ అయితే జాలి కింద ఫీల్ అయితే అనుకోవచ్చు, లేదంటే అయ్యో అనుకోవచ్చు ఆర్ ఇష్టంతో అనుకోవచ్చు, సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్ వే. మై ఫెలో మై one of the organ is injured, so I want to help it. I want to help it in how? ఒక ఇంజరీ అయింది అంటే హీల్ అవ్వాలి. సో దట్ ఈస్ how the rest of the body will act, or how the rest of the body will act to heal that injury. Okay, and it is injury means trauma or anything, the patient will uh, will have in the outside. But in surgery, we are taking the permission of the patient and injuring the or injury or creating one trauma. So surgery is, if we are inguinal hernia patient is there means we are operating. Operating means we are giving incision and everything. So similarly, if the patient had accidental trauma with the blade or anything, that is also incision. But here, with our hand, with the permission of the patient, we are doing surgery. So it is also a type of injury, but with permission of the patient, with the act of good to the patient. Okay, if hernia, we are to treat it. Treat it means to prevent the complication, to prevent the morbidity, and all that. We treat the patient. That is good response. If a if a homicide is there means he will also use a knife, but it will kill the patient. It will kill the person. That is the difference. So that is also injury. Surgery also injury. So the patient comes to our in OPD and we have planned for surgery means we have to assess the patient in detail and will similarly small injury, trauma, like that is surgeries are major, minor surgeries are there. Minor surgeries, suppose lipoma, sebaceous cyst. Do we admit the patient? No, we won't admit. Just we operate the we do excision and we send the patient to the home. If a hernia patient is there means if we do surgery, we admit the patient post-operatively for 2 days to 3. On third POD, we will discharge. But if you do a surgery like Whipple's procedure or gastrectomy or esophagectomy or APR or amputation of the limb, we admit the patient for minimum of 7 to 10 days. Why? Why we have to keep the patient in ward or in surgery means small injury, the body responds. How the body responds is inflammatory and immunological, metabolic, and physiological responses. So, if, for example, if lipoma is there, do you expect any loss of blood? No. Loss of blood won't be there. There won't be any anesthesia. Like only we give local anesthesia. We won't give general anesthesia so that all protective mechanism in the body are dampened, like hypothermia or attenuated sympathetic nervous system. All this won't be there. So you no need the patient to take any rest or anything. The response will be only localized injury or confined to that operative site only. But in case of hernia, next example is hernia. We ask the patient to take milk by mouth. Means we are making the patient to fast. Okay, overnight fasting, we will ask the patient. And the next day, we won't give patient for allow liquids or anything for 24 hours. For a preoperative and postoperative, around 24 hours, we won't allow oral intake. Okay. Intraoperatively, we give anesthetic drugs. These anesthetic drugs will dampen the sympathetic response, thermal regulation, and everything they will decrease. So there won't be any protective mechanism or physiological responses to the injury. And postoperatively, wound site. Wound healing or anything, there will be inflammation. Inflammatory cytokines are released and these will act on the surgical site and they will cause systemic features like the post-operative fever will be present. Okay, గమనించండి. అంటే మీ రొటీన్ డైలీ యాక్టివిటీస్ అంటే మీ రొటీన్ షెడ్యూల్లో మీకు ఎప్పుడైనా దెబ్బ తగిలింది అంటే పోస్ట్ అంటే విత్ ఇన్ సెకండ్ డే దేర్ విల్ బి మైల్డ్ రైస్ ఇన్ ద టెంపరేచర్. ఓకే, ద 5 responses of inflammation is fever, choler, dolor. All these features you see anywhere in the body, any type of injury, either bone fracture or abscess or trauma or incision. Okay, similarly in surgery we are keeping an incision. Similar signs of inflammation are also seen. So temperature rise will be there, inflammation, redness, swelling, and paresthesias, all this will be present. Okay. If we do Whipple's procedure, okay, we are keeping the patient nilbay mouth until vowel sounds are heard. Okay, it is major surgery involving the abdomen. We are resecting the pancreas, duodenum, and hepaticoduodenostomy. All these procedures are done. Here, the responses will be very huge. I mean, severe response or increased response to this because multiple sites should be healing. I mean, hepaticoduodenostomy, pancreaticoduodenostomy, gastroduodenostomy, all this should be healed. So if healing means more response will be there, more inflammatory response will be there. More inflammatory response means more side effects. Means interleukin 1, TNF alpha, and these are the major pro-inflammatory. Pro-inflammatory means this causes inflammation. These are the main inflammatory cytokines. Cytokines are released in the body, so there will be more. This causes effect on the every organ. Increases the body temperature, increases the basal metabolic rate, increases the respiration, and increases the local tissue. I mean, at the site of injury, there will be increased vascular permeability and tissue edema will be present. Because the injury is more, it will be more, I mean, post-operative case should be there. More means severe response. Okay. Similarly, in inflammations, any pancreatitis or any gastritis or anything, any inflammation depending upon the severity, mild and severe response will be there. That is pro-inflammatory response. Initially, if for any injury, the body will become alert and it sends its policemen like interleukin and TNF alpha to the localized area, and to prevent that inflammation or to prevent that infection or anything, it will act. So anyway, anywhere in the body, every mechanism has an equal and opposite. I mean, opposite mechanism will be there to arrest its overactivity. Okay, excessive pro-inflammatory, excessive inflammation is stimulated. So it will be counter-regulated by other counter anti-inflammatory response syndrome. That is CARS. So initially there will be pro-inflammatory. Next is the counter anti-inflammatory regulatory response syndrome. So the body has innate protective mechanism to control. There will be balance between the pro-inflammatory and anti-inflammatory. Okay, then only the desired effect. Any increase in the pro-inflammatory or any increase in the anti-inflammatory. Pro-inflammatory means that inhibit the infection. For example, anti-inflammatory means there will be decreased immunity to this infection or inflammation or anything. So there is depressed immune response. So they are more prone for infection. If pro-inflammatory is there means there will be systemic inflammatory response will be there. If counter anti-inflammatory response is there means there will be more. I mean, there is decreased immune response, so there will be increased infection. Okay, anything is dangerous. So we have to need a balance between the anti-inflammatory and pro-inflammatory. This balance should be maintained in our post-operative settings. Okay, we have to examine the patient in daily post-operative day, whether there is this, what is the healing process, whether it is going in balanced condition or not. Because if anti-inflammatory is there, more means seeds also will lead to multi-organ dysfunction. If counter-inflammatory responses act, more means they are more prone for infections. So anything will be lead to multi-organ failure of patient. So this is related everything. Metabolic response to injury is very important chapter 2 for understanding the how the healing, how we have to treat the patient, how is the patient responding to your surgery, whether the patient is safely discharged after doing surgery. See, in surgery, simply doing surgery is not finished. Okay, surgery success, patient died అన్నట్టు ఉంటుంది. So pre-operative assessment, intraoperatively skills, and post-operative vigilance. The post-operative care is very, very important until you discharge the patient. Okay, so this injury response is graded. If small injury is there, small response will be there. If it's major injury, major response to this injury will be present. Okay. So homeostasis is foundation of normal physiology. This homeostasis, any inflammatory or anti-inflammatory, I am giving the example. Similarly, coagulation and anticoagulation, hemolysis and hemosynthesis, bilirubin synthesis and bilirubin excretion, everything. If the any abnormality, either increased or decreased, even WBC count increased is malignancies, decreased means malignancies are there. Anything deviation from this normal physiology is injury. It will causes metabolic responses and every system in the body will act. Okay, stress-free perioperative care helps to preserve homeostasis following elective surgery. Okay, resuscitation, surgical intervention, and critical care can return the severely injured patient to situation. So the graded nature of this injury response is graded. Graded means small injury, small response. Major injury, major response. And the response will be physiological, metabolic, and immunological changes. Not only metabolic response is graded, it is evolves with the time, because see, your body stores. మీరు ఫాస్టింగ్ ఉండాలి అనుకున్నారు అనుకో, your glucose, metabolic means metabolic response is glucose, fats, proteins, everything, how they are metabolized, how they are mobilized, how they are synthesized, how their stores are depleted. Because any healing, మన బాడీ సర్వైవ్ అవ్వడానికి కావాల్సింది కార్బోహైడ్రేట్స్, ప్రోటీన్స్ అండ్ ఫ్యాట్స్, అంతే కదా. సో కార్బోహైడ్రేట్స్, ప్రోటీన్స్, ఫ్యాట్స్ ఎలా ఉంటాయి? కార్బోహైడ్రేట్స్ గ్లూకోజ్, ఫ్యాట్స్ ట్రైగ్లిజరైడ్స్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్, and proteins amino acids. Any cell or collagen or any healing, we need to prepare these three. Carbohydrates gives ATP, proteins will give the structure, collagen form and everything. So body stores. So nutrition of the patient is very important. So glycogen, glucose is stored in the form of glycogen. It will come only for 24 to 48 hours only in your body. Okay, next energy sources are proteins. If glucose are depleted or glycogen is depleted, the next source is proteins. Proteins are stored in liver and skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle, if proteins means how? They are skeletal muscle proteins, fibers. These will be depleted. Means there will be muscle wasting. Income is starvation lo unnaru. The next is the fats. Fats until 40 days. You can be fasting or starvation. Okay, after that your body stores won't be there, you will die. Okay, so అందుకనే maximum ఆమర నిరాహార దీక్ష చేస్తారు కదా, they will only 50 days. After that they will come, all the demands will be resolved. Okay, beyond that the patient will die. Okay, this skeletal muscle breakdown will be there if inka fasting lo unnaru ante this muscle, because post operatively lipoma ki we won't ask the patient to fasting, but hernia 24 hours kabatti glucose untadi. So 24 hours, within 24 hours we give oral supplementation will be kabatti there won't be any mobilization of the skeletal proteins. For example, people's major surgery, GA intestinal surgeries, we keep the patient for prolonged starvation. Starvation means for at least 5 days. So initially glycogen stores will be depleted. Next, skeletal muscle breakdown will be started. So see, if you see in your relatives or anybody who have undergone major surgery, there will be decreased weight loss, and also they will become very emaciated. Burst patient, very major points, they will decrease in, they lose their protein, skeletal mass, and they become lean, very lean, under nutrition, because this metabolic response will be there is increased metabolic rate, so they will be prolonged metabolic rate, basal metabolic rate of them will be increased, and the skeletal muscles and all proteins will be degraded. And ఎందుకు డిగ్రేడ్ అవుతున్నాయంటే టు ఇంజరీని హీల్ చేయడానికి. సో దిస్ ఇన్ఫ్లమేటరీ రెస్పాన్స్ గోల్ ఇస్ టు హీల్. If it is more means all this compromise of this rest of the body will affected. So this injury response will prevent చేయాలి కాంపెన్సేట్. ఓకే, ఎక్కువ డ్యామేజ్ చేయకుండా మనకు కావాల్సిన ఇంజరీ ఆర్ ఆ సర్జరీ దగ్గర ఆఫ్ సైట్ ని హీల్ అవ్వాలి, అది మనం బ్యాలెన్స్ చేయగలగాలి. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డూ. హౌ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డూ మీన్స్ ఐ విల్ డీల్ ఇన్ నెక్స్ట్. So the skeletal muscle proteins will break down, muscle fibers will break down, and this protein will send to liver. Okay, liver lo em chestadi all these cytokines, acute phase inflammatory response proteins ఉంటాయి. ఈ proteins అన్ని synthesis అవుతాయి. The albumin is synthesized from liver. It won't be synthesized from any organ. Okay, only liver can synthesize albumin. Albumin is a major protein in the body which is used for healing. So at the expense albumin synthesis తగ్గించుకుని this acute phase response protein synthesis will be increased. ఎందుకు? Because to heal the injury. Okay, this acute phase inflammatory response are nothing but C-reactive protein and cytokines, interleukins, and all these acute phase proteins are needed for repair of this injury. E priority they are giving, the whole body gives its priority to heal the injury. So this metabolic response will evolve with time. Following elective surgery of intermediate severity, there may be transient or moderate rise in temperature, heart rate, respiratory rate, energy expenditure, and WBC count. See, this transient temperature or anything nothing but interleukin 1 and TNF alpha. They act on the CNS and temperature regulating area, and they increase this temperature, heart rate, respiratory rate, because oxygen is required for healing, energy expenditure, everything. Basal metabolic rate is increased by these cytokines, interleukin 1 and TNF alpha. Remember, these two are pro-inflammatory. Anti-inflammatory are interleukin 4, interleukin 8, and WBC count will increase because inflammation, the major component is WBC. Following major trauma or sepsis, this response will be systemic inflammatory response syndrome. This systemic inflammatory response we call when there is increased body temperature, when there is increased leukocyte or decreased leukocyte count. All this because SIDS, hypermetabolism, marked catabolism. Catabolism is breakdown of the skeletal muscle, loss of fatty tissue. And if this SIDS is increased, there will be shock because to get the injury site ki ఎక్కువ, to increase this delivery of these nutrients, inflammatory cytokines, there will be vasodilatation. There should be vasodilatation. So there will be more oxygen supply, more nutrient supply, more inflammatory repair system will be supplied. But these all are circulated in the body, whole blood. So there will be diffuse, there will be shock, and multi-organ dysfunction will be there. If shock is there, there will be decreased supply to the other organs, and only main supply to the heart and brain will be there. So they will fail. Multi-organ dysfunction, similar renal failure will be there, liver failure will be there, GIT will be affected. All these systems will be affected. One respiratory failure will be there. This will evolve from pro-inflammatory state. Pro-inflammatory means inflammation. Okay, all these macrophages, neutrophils, dendritic cells, all this will cause inflammation, and this will inflammatory response will next come will be progress to compensatory anti-inflammatory response syndrome, CARS, characterized with suppressed immunity and diminished resistance to infection. This anti-inflammatory response means these interleukins or cytokines which release will contract, decreasing the inflammation by suppressing the inflammation. Is nothing but immunity means innate and cell mediated, diminished resistance to infection. This is the response. This is the major Means resting metabolic rate will be increased 130 percentage of increase 130%, and for minor trauma 110%. This is the normal, and starvation is below this normal range. Mediators of metabolic response to injury. What are the mediators means? See, Barry will give one nice diagram. Say if you have an injury, from injury, the afferent nerves will enter into the spinal cord, the pain nociceptive pathways, and they stimulate the brain. What are the areas it will stimulate means? Pituitary, hypothalamus, from hypothalamus, corticotropin releasing hormone will secreted, and it acts on the pituitary, and it causes HGH and growth hormone. Okay, these are the hormones in increase. What this HGH will do? Adrenocorticotropic hormone. It will act on the adrenal gland. Adrenal, the hormones released are adrenaline and cortisol. So these are the cortisol and glucagon. These hormones are the flight and fight hormones. When there is injury response within hours, these hormones will be secreted. These secreted adrenaline causes act on the all these adipocytes. They increase the lipolysis in the hepatic, gluconeogenesis, and in skeletal muscle protein degradation. Because all this gluconeogenesis, glucose is required. So this glucose it will supply, and proteins are come from skeletal muscle degradation, and in the liver, this acute protein phase synthesis occurs. These acute phase proteins are required for repair. So similarly, the afferent nociceptive pathway or the injury will stimulate the first system in the body, innate. This is natural or innate immune system will be activated. From this innate, the adaptive immune system will be activated. How much is this stimulated? How much hormone adrenaline? How much cortisol? How much glucagon are released? This depends upon the severity of the injury. Okay. This innate immune, this will cause release of interleukin-1, TNF-alpha, interleukin-6, interleukin-8. These will be increased. These act on this brain, and they causes pyrexia. Pyrexia is nothing but fever. Hypermetabolism. Hypermetabolism means insulin will be decreased, resistance. So the other cells won't take this glucose, and this blood glucose levels will be increased. And insulin growth factor, this will also be decreased. Testosterone decreased because it is more of anabolic hormone. Anabolic hormone, catabolism and anabolism. Catabolism means lysis. The skeletal muscle lysis will be there. Anabolism means skeletal muscle protein synthesis and fat storage will be there. So this is dope in athletes. The testosterone is given means their anabolic response will be given. In gyms also they will give testosterone to increase this muscle mass and everything. So these all are decreased in injury. So that is hypermetabolism. So again, this response will be acute phase and chronic phase. Acute phase, it is characterized by actively secreting pituitary and elevated counter-regulatory hormones. Counter-regulatory hormones are cortisol, glucagon, and ethanol. Chronic phase is characterized by associated with suppression of hypothalamic response. Low levels of these respective target organ hormones, because they will decrease. If they are continuously present, means we will become emaciated within 4 days. If they are persistently elevated, they will contribute to chronic wasting. Classic neuroendocrine pathways are these. Pro-inflammatory cytokines are interleukin-1, TNF-alpha, interleukin-6, interleukin-8 are produced within first 24 hours and act directly on hypothalamus to cause pyrexia. These all are counter-regulated, confirm pro-inflammatory response. And these are specialized pro-resolving mediators. Within the inflamed tissue, the duration and magnitude of acute inflammation as well as extent of homeostasis are influenced by local mediators. These are specialized pro-resolving mediators. Lipoxins, resolvins, protectins, and macrophages. Because these all protect from this excessive pro-inflammatory response. This is the metabolic response to surgery and trauma. It is divided in, explained by the ebb and flow model. You may get as a short notes. The ebb and flow model. This is a physiological response. What? See, if you animal like cat, for example, cat or dog, if it got an injury to its leg, it won't move. It will take rest in the corner and it won't eat or anything. It will just sleep there and just it will eat. So that is a natural response to injury. So if you give rest, the injury will heal. Okay. So these are the natural responses: immobility, rest, anorexia, and catabolism. The F phase, flow phase, and recovery phase. The F phase means within hours, flow phase within days, and recovery with weeks. So within hours there will be shock because all these inflammatory cytokines they will increase and they will cause shock, and it will last only for hours. Catabolism, all this metabolic response, all this insulin, hypermetabolic response, decreased insulin and everything, adrenaline, cortisol, all this will cause catabolic response. It will only last for days. That anabolic response. Anabolic response means all the lost skeletal muscles or glycogen stores are recovered in this anabolic phase. F phase, there will be hypovolemia and decreased basal metabolic rate, reduced cardiac output, hypothermia, and lactic acidosis. The predominant hormones are catecholamines, cortisol, and aldosterone. This magnitude of, again, degree means how is the response graded means degree of blood loss and stimulation of somatic efferent nerves at the site of injury. The main physiological role of F phase is to conserve post circulating volume and energy stores for recovery and repair. This is the main role for F phase. Flow phase. It is again divided into initial catabolic phase lasting approximately 3 to 10 days. Anabolic phase, which may last for weeks if extensive recovery and repair are required following injury. Sorry. During catabolic phase, this all counter-regulatory hormones, including catecholamine, cortisol, insulin, and inflammatory cytokines, result in significant fat and protein mobilization. All the subcutaneous fat and protein from the skeletal muscle are mobilized from peripheral tissue to the injury. This will lead in weight loss. The increased production of insulin at this time is associated with insulin resistance. Even because the cells will automatically they won't take this glucose. They will conserve this send this glucose to the injury area. The purpose of neuroendocrine changes following injury is to provide essential substrate for survival, postpone anabolism, optimize post defense, and these changes will recover. Changes will help in short term. See, if a open surgery is done, we have to open cholecystectomy, for example, open cholecystectomy. We will give very big incision. Very big incision means the response stimulated by this incision in the brain, it will be more. Okay, more response is stimulated. More response, more stimulus is given. If it is laparoscopy, there are very, very small 1 centimeter incisions are given. So we are decreasing or minimizing the severity of this response or injury by converting the minimally invasive. So if post-operatively, see the open cholecystectomy patient on the post-operative day 1, he will lie on the bed only. He won't mobilize. Okay. If we see contrary to the lap cholecystectomy patient, on the day of surgery, only evening only he will start to mobilize. How? Why means the response, like there won't be much fever response, there won't be much protein loss or loss of weight or anything. He will return to the activity very early. That is the response, metabolic response to injury. So we understood this mechanism. So we are converting the open invasive surgery to the minimal invasive surgeries. And anesthesia, intraoperative anesthesia, if we give an epidural anesthesia, because again How this is the diagram. So here is the injury. Okay, this nociceptive pathway. If we decrease this pain, the response will be less. If the pain is more, the more response will be there. Okay, pain is productive. Okay, if it is excessive pain, excessive response will be there. So, anesthesia, general anesthesia, there won't be any analgesic effect. Only the anesthesia will be present intraoperative only. Post-operatively, there won't be any analgesic. Analgesic effect means pain, less pain. If we give NSAIDs or epidural anesthesia, through epidural anesthesia, all these spinal reflexes, spinal pathways of the pain are attenuated. Okay, there will be less pain. There won't be any less response. So body won't take it as very serious. So there will be early recovery. Key catabolic elements of the flow phase of metabolic response are all these proteins and fat. They will mobilize from the skeletal muscle. All the skeletal muscle, including respiratory muscles. If respiratory muscles become very weakened, there won't be there will be complications in the post-operative period like pneumonia, atelectasis, all this will come. So from peripheral tissue, muscle, adipose tissue and skin, the amino acids, especially glutamate and alanine, these will deliver to liver, immune system, and the womb. Hypermetabolism. Hypermetabolism is nothing but increase in basal metabolic rate. It will be 15 to 20% above the basal metabolic rate. This all muscles and everything will be. How this muscle degraded are, this is the pathway. This will this skeletal muscle wasting will experience asthenia, increased fatigue, reduced functionality, decreased quality of life, increased risk of morbidity and mortality. Again, you are taking rest at your house. Okay, for how long? Almost 1 or 2 months. After lockdown, when you are coming back to the college, you won't have that much strength to attend classes, to stand in the ward, to do your activities. Why? Because means all this rest and everything, your muscle proteins, skeletal muscle proteins will be this. Lysis will be there, or there will be decreased. Okay, the skeletal muscle bulk or anything, skeletal muscle means we have to do activity. See, in gym also or in any bodybuilding also, if you do activity only, the muscle bulk will be increased. Without activity, your muscle bulk will be decreased. That is protein lysis will occur in the skeletal muscle. So you will become weak, fatigue, and functional ability will be decreased. Similarly, in critically ill patient, there will be increased metabolic rate, means muscle weakness will be there. So myopathy, multifactorial condition, impaired excitation, and everything will be there. Skeletal muscle wasting will be there. Hepatic proteins. How these hepatic proteins are affected means acute phase proteins response. There will be all these proteins from the skeletal muscle will send to the liver, and this liver will synthesize acute phase proteins. Normally, these acute phase proteins won't be synthesized, but in inflammation or any injury, these acute protein phase will be increased. Insulin resistance. Again, post-operatively, there will be hyperglycemia because due to injury, the resistance, insulin resistance means at the receptor level, at the cell level, the insulin will be present, but it won't act on the cell to take for glucose uptake. So there won't be glucose uptake, and this will cause hyperglycemia. If hyperglycemia is there, again complications of the wound will be increased, like wound infection, poor wound healing. Body composition changes will be there. See, first protein loss, there will be lean body fat, body mass will be decreased. Intracellular water, extracellular water, and all these minerals will be lost. Starvation, again, what I have there. Well, see, the body weight increases how how to contract all this means we'll have to resuscitate. Resuscitate, how you resuscitate means we supply the nutrition, fluids and everything. Immediately there will be increase only in extracellular water. We will this will cause us increase in the body weight. So don't think as increase in the body weight immediately means we are restoring this skeletal muscle protein or glycogen stores or fat stores. Okay, it will take minimum 1 week, 1 to 2 weeks. So if we supply all this glucose and everything in the post-operative period, so we can decrease this metabolic response in the post-operative period. What are the avoidable factors that compound the response to injury? See, what are the factors causing this injury means hemorrhage, hypothermia, tissue edema, tissue underperfusion, starvation, and immobility. These are 6 factors which can be avoidable. Means we can prevent hemorrhage. We can maintain the normal body temperature. We can decrease the tissue perfusion. We can increase the tissue perfusion by increasing the oxygen supply and starvation. We can prevent the starvation by supplying the parenteral nutrition or enteral nutrition. Okay. Immobility. We can make the patient to mobilize. So in post-operative period, see, intraoperative we control the hemorrhage. Okay, post-operative hemorrhage is there, we stop the hemorrhage and we transfusion of blood. Hypothermia, intraoperative, any decrease in the body temperature below 2 degrees also, it is very fatal. It causes cardiac arrhythmias and everything. Tissue edema. If excessive tissue edema is there, excessive cooling of fluids in interstitial fluid is there means there will be poor wound healing. Okay. Tissue underperfusion. Underperfusion means decreased oxygen supply, decreased carbohydrate supply, minerals or protein supply will be there. There won't be any wound healing. All this can be we can prevent. We can decrease, but we cannot change the I mean how the body responds. But by controlling this means we are minimizing the response. Okay. All this wound, hypothermia, hypertension, and pain. This will activate ethnosympathetic activation, cytokine cascade release. All this causes pyrexia, acute phase response, insulin resistance, and fetal substrate cycling, muscle protein degradation and degradation. This will lead to catabolism and embolism. This immobilization and starvation. This is very, very important. All these factors we can treat, we can avoid in post-operative period. If we didn't avoid this hypertension, the patient will die. If we didn't treat this hypothermia, the patient will die. If for tissue edema and decreased perfusion, if we didn't deal with it, is the complication rate, the morbidity and mortality in the post-operative period. Even if you do excellent surgery, if you do not treat or if you do not take care in the post-operative period, all these symptoms, there will be poor, success rate of your surgery. See how much procedure, how much meticulous, how much bloodless surgery you have done. They won't ask you how you do in the surgery. How did you do the surgery? They will see only the how the patient is there. If the patient is there, how much excellent medical surgery you have done, there won't be any use. Okay. So all this post-operative period, post-operative care you have to do. Volume loss, hemorrhage, ADH and everything will be increased, and blood transfusion, fistulas and all will give. Hypothermia also will cause post-operative cardiac arrhythmia and increased catabolism. So you have to treat hypothermia, tissue edema, and systemic inflammation and tissue underperfusion. On starvation, by giving parenteral nutrition. If the think the patient won't take any food within 24 to 48 hours, means we have to start total parenteral nutrition. I will deal in the next class what is nutrition. And to decrease the starvation period preoperatively, the starvation period is started before the surgery itself. Okay, if you are going to plan in the next day, we will ask at least 6 to 8 hours preoperative nil by mode of starvation. We won't allow the patient even to drink water. But to decrease that, newer guidelines are there. Clear fluids can be allowed up to 2 hours before surgery. and 100 ml of glucose solution can be taken before surgery. I mean 2 hours before surgery, not before immediately before surgery, 2 hours before surgery. Why the main why we want to keep the patient starvation means to decrease the aspiration complication in the intraoperative period. Enhanced recovery after surgery, ERAS. You may get a short notes, ERAS. What is ERAS? ERAS means enhanced recovery after surgery, because we have to take preoperative, intraoperative and postoperative care to increase the recovery after the surgery. So minimal access technique and the blockade of efferent stimuli, epidural analgesia, spinal analgesia, wound catheters, and minimal periods of starvation before preoperative, and early mobilization of the patient, and goal directed fluid therapy. Excessive fluid resuscitation also will causes peripheral tissue edema. So only how much is required, you have to give that one. Any excess or any low values of fluid we give means it will affect the circulatory system of this body. So thank you. This is very, very important topic, basic and very dry topic also. Okay. Can anyone respond? Do you any have doubts? Please respond. Do you have any doubts?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. ఏమైనా అర్థమైందో కొంచెమన్నా? You come into practical, you will get, because this is very, very important topic. I mean, in practical level లో చాలా important అర్థం అవడానికి. The surgery physiology of surgery. Okay. You may not understand now, but when you come into final year or when you become a surgeon, you will understand it better. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.